What's up, friends? This is Chaz bringing you to the finale of the Elmo and Grouchland. This time I'm playing on hard mode. Now, back to what I was talking about in the last part. Recently, within the last 2 or so years, they've introduced Julia, a female autistic Muppet. Or you know what, from Sesame Street. And I honestly think they did amazing. Yeah, I'm not good at this. And, well, okay, obviously, it doesn't cover every single individual on the autism spectrum. As they said, you meet one person with autism, you meet one person with autism. Now, as I said, I have not been confirmed to be on the autism spectrum. I was going to be in the midst of an evaluation, but my psychiatrist at the time was fired. And so I never got to have a chance to really be evaluated, but he had suspected I had either Asperger's syndrome or mild autism. So either high-functioning autism or what they would call PDD-NOS. So I still, even with not being confirmed, it means like the whole autism spectrum means a lot to me. Now, as I said, Julia does not cover every single aspect of autism. I'm glad they put a female instead of just a typical male, which was really smart, but she was displayed to be almost the typical autism. Like the classic autism from what I've seen of her in their first clip. Like she had a lot of echolalia. I know my pronunciation of it, I'm not good with pronouncing things even though I know what it is. I apologize, but that pretty much means they will tend to repeat what they hear. So if you say to them, "How are you today, Julia?" she might say, "How are you today, Julia?" rather than "I am good" or "I'm not so good." Now, okay, maybe Julia's a bit higher on the higher end in that she will somewhat reply if she's focused in the conversation enough. But I know someone, I'm not saying names because of privacy's sake, that I am with where I work, who has that in a way. Like, if you say, we'll call her, Thelma. If I ask Thelma, "So how do you feel about this?" she might go, "How do you feel about this?" rather than say, "Oh, I don't like it," or "I think I'm sad," or whatever. Sometimes she will actually respond in the way that you would want, but sometimes she wouldn't. So, and that doesn't always, echolalia isn't always just with typical classic autism. Some individuals in the higher end might have some form of it too. The difference is, though, is that if you're speaking to them, they'll probably respond appropriately. Echolalia might happen if they're excited watching a video or reading a book or something that they're interested in, and they may just repeat it seemingly out of the blue. So that would be just like someone who was excited about something and just saying their favorite phrase. So there's difference. That is kind of where I am. Like, I don't do it inappropriately, but if I'm by myself watching a YouTube video like the Nostalgia Critic, watching a movie I really like, I will tend to just say it, right? And it will seem like more of an impulse. It isn't like I'm thinking, "All right, this is awesome, I'm going to say it." It's just a natural, reflex in a way. But I know I've been talking more about autism in a video that's Sesame Street, but what else is there really to say? Like, it is Sesame Street and they have brought up the idea of autism in the show, so I thought I would bring that up. As a Julia would probably be in the middle, I think. She likes, and the thing is too, it also showed that she liked to socialize. But the one thing I liked about this, how they portrayed her, is that she wasn't portrayed as simply, "Oh, they explain the reason why sometimes she prefers to be on her own, or why she behaves a certain way. It's not like she doesn't like to be friends with you, it's just she might be too into her interest, what she's doing, or she may not know the correct way how. A lot of misconceptions about autism is that they don't want to be social, or they're too social, right? That's what I've heard. Like when I was talking to some people I had in a group, I'm not bringing up names because that is private. Like, I don't go there anymore. But one person said to me, he knows, like, he's seen people with autism in his area, and he either saw them as either not wanting to be social at all, or too friendly. Well, not you're too friendly. I seem to be in the middle. Well, that is the one time, or the one area he saw me in. Like, you may not seem it, but I often, when I'm somewhere, I do talk a lot, but that is more that I am nervous. That is an impulse on being nervous, not that I always want to be friendly. I mean, I'm not saying I want to be like Grouch, like Oscar, but I just want to be, like I said, that's the only way my anxiety is tamed, in a way. Right? Like, if I'm overly quiet, then I may not be able to function. The same thing goes if I have my irritable bowel syndrome. If I'm in a lot of pain, I can't talk at all. So it's interesting. That's how I explained it to my staff at work. Is that, like, a lot of it, like, and a lot of my problems could be the pain that comes with my irritable bowel. Yeah, I suck at this level, don't I? See how much this level has changed from easy to hard? But I am getting a lot of lives, though. I mean, the thing is, because you have to climb up to the exit rather than just go through. So you have to go all the way. Like, all the way to awesome. So now, see, you have to go through there rather than... And this time they have a snake. So there's more, there's more to look out for. Now, as I said, the last level was what was affected the most by its challenge. Also, it was a little more challenging than the first level too. But most of it has stayed the same, maybe a little more difficult. Actually, to be fair, I felt the other tunnel of the mine got easier, if anything, than the other level. And there's the final level. Now, I don't think very much has changed in this level either. I mean, it's maybe a little more challenging, but not very much at all. If it seemed like it was more challenging, that's my own goof. And not that anything else is really challenging. Like, I try to go for the heart and everything there, and that's what messed me up. I could have gotten this done, like, there's nothing else different in this level. I don't know why they would consider that challenging. I mean, I know, okay, maybe they're a little more aggressive with their shooting. That could be it. Or I done messed up. Oops, and then see, I gone messed up. Yeah, and see, I gone messed up. That part was my own fault. Like, I overjumped or underjumped. Yes, I said I do respect Sesame Street for putting in an autistic Muppet. And I know some people don't like the term autistic, but that's often what is used. Or an individual with autism, I'd probably put. But, honestly, geez, I forget what I was going to say. I think they did good to kind of represent, like, what would be classically. So we got our final score of this, of 1,700. That's not bad. So if you enjoyed it, give it a big thumbs up, and I will see you guys in my next video.